Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Amanda and today we are here with a Q&A and some art. I hope that you enjoy the art. I have no idea what it is yet, but I hope you enjoy it regardless. So I asked on Twitter and Discord if you could give me some questions, and if you have any more questions that you want answered, then please leave them in the comments below and I will either make another video or reply to you with the answers depending on how in-depth they are. So the first one that I have, the first question that I have is by ALLJArt on Twitter, and she asks, is abstract art real art? And I've actually tried abstract art a few times before and it's hard. A lot more goes into it than just slapping paint on the canvas, and you have to know about colour theory and what colours look good together and what shapes look good together and how to construct it. Composition goes into it as well. It's not just slapping paint on the canvas like some people think, and I 100% think that abstract art is real art. Anything that you put paint to paper and make a picture is art. I don't understand why people have the whole argument about whether a certain style or a certain medium is actually art or not. This argument goes on with digital art a lot as well, and people think that that's not art and it's cheating or whatever, but it's art. You're making a picture from scratch and you're creating something. So that's basically my answer on that. I can't say anything more about it, and maybe I'll do a video of me creating abstract art at some point. I think Catnip Illustrations just did that, so if you want to hear about what her thoughts are on abstract art, then I highly recommend it. It was her first time trying it and she was doing it for to decorate her room, so she says some good points in there about the whole abstract art thing. So if you want to go and check that out, I'll leave a link in the description below. Now, most of my other questions are from Claudia. I still have one from Liz as well. It was a suggestion for a whole video, but I don't think that I could talk about that subject for 10 minutes. So I'm gonna answer it in here, but first we're gonna answer one from Claudia. I don't know if these were suggestions for full videos or not, but I just put them into this Q&A because I thought that I only had short answers for them anyway. So these aren't in order, they're just in order of what I decided to write them down in. So the first one that I wrote down was, what's your view on fan art? And these were all asked on Discord. And I do think that fan art should be done as art, and I think that when someone draws something that's inspired by a show or a movie or a celebrity or anything like that, that they are showing their appreciation and passion for that thing, and it's perfectly acceptable. But I will say that I highly am against, like, really makes me feel sick when I see people do this, highly against people selling fan art, especially if it's just pure copies of someone's face as their character, or if it's just pure copies of the actual characters in a show. Like if you draw SpongeBob, for example, I don't know why I thought about that, but if you draw SpongeBob and you draw him exactly the way that he is in the show and you don't add your own flair to it and then you try to sell it, I think that's wrong. And I even think it's wrong if you base a character on SpongeBob. Well, maybe not. If you made say if you took inspiration from SpongeBob, I don't know why we're going with this, but SpongeBob, and you made a character that had yellow skin, and I don't even watch SpongeBob that much, so I don't really know his characteristics, but I think he has brown trousers. So if you put brown trousers on this character, and I think, does he wear a tie? I'm not sure, but and black shoes, then I'm pretty sure you could sell that. But if you are actually making like a screenshot drawing of a movie or whatever, then I don't think that you should sell it. I don't think that that's your work to sell, and you're basically making money off of someone else's art. It's copyrighted, it shouldn't be sold. And that's the same for if you see somebody's artwork on Instagram and you really like it and you copy it and sell it. It's the exact same thing. It's wrong. Somebody created that. I think a lot of people think that shows and TV shows and movies and things like that don't have one particular artist, or I don't know what they think. I don't know how they think these things are made, but I think they feel like they have the right to own it and sell it when they don't. I think movies is a different story because there's lots of things that you could do, and people might want to buy fan art of like a realistic portrait of Captain America or something like that. I don't know. It's a really touchy subject. People get annoyed, so I don't really want to go too much into it, but I think that in my personal opinion, if you want to create something, you should come up with it by yourself. It should be completely your own idea. I know it's hard to come up with ideas, but that's just my personal thoughts on that one. She also asked where I get inspiration from, sources of inspiration, and I made a video on how to find inspiration, and I'm pretty sure that will be up before this video, so you can go and check that out. I'll leave a link in the description, and maybe the iCards as well, depending on how many iCards I can fit in. But the gist of it is just basically life, Instagram, royalty-free websites, YouTube. There's loads of places that you can find inspiration, and that's why I made it a video on its own. So if you want to go and check that out, you can. But like I said, there's loads of places you can get inspiration. Just look around you and collect data and things that you can that inspire you, and keep them and use them for later on. I'm gonna take a break from Claudia for a minute and go to Liz, and she suggested that I should make a full video of why I decided to stop Etsy and open my own website for my online shop. And I started Etsy in 2018, and even then it was pretty poor in my opinion. I didn't feel like they helped me promote my shop at all, and I just felt like they kept taking more and more fees. And I know that there's like premium Etsy memberships to go for, but I don't think that Etsy is a good website because you get buried in the amount of people that are selling homemade goods, homemade things, and it's really hard to get seen. And also, if you look at my analytics on Etsy, you can see that a lot of my traffic was coming from me anyway, so I was doing all the work, but I was paying Etsy to host my listings, and they were doing nothing. And you could say the same thing about Wix, that I'm paying them money and I'm also doing all the work, but their CEO system is really good, and already I've had hits from Google coming in from just searching certain things that I have on my website and them being shown it. And yes, it is it does seem like a lot more money because you're spending it up front, but you can post as many items on your shop as you want without fees. You don't have the whole you need to offer free postage to Americans. I'm a UK seller, so when Etsy brought that in and said that they would be promoted more because their postage is free, that's a lot of money. It's £2.30 per order to send to your country. So basically, I was getting £2.80 odd or £2.50 for the stickers if it was just one sticker sheet, and spending that money on posting it. So I was basically breaking even and then having to pay the fee for posting it. So I wasn't really making any money from Etsy. And then they brought in the whole ad thing, which I think where you have to, you're automatically signed up for ads, and if somebody clicks on that ad and makes a purchase, you have to pay for the advertisement, and you don't get the option. if you're a bigger seller. And I can see why this could be a good thing, because obviously the ads would be shown to more people, but at the same time they sort of were like, this is an option that you cannot come out of, you can't opt out of it, you need to pay for it, and there was no option there. So I think that's why a lot of people were mad about that, and they have every right to be, because I don't like being forced into something. I like to have the option, especially if you're a smaller creator. I'm pretty sure that smaller people could opt out, but why were bigger people not opt out? It's basically because Etsy seen they were making a lot of money on their site, and they were like, oh, let's capitalize on this, let's make as much money as possible and take money from them without their permission, basically. So I think Etsy made a horrible move there, and it just furthered my decision to open my own website. And not only do I sell things on my website, I also have a whole hub of things to do with my business, where I obviously post my YouTube videos. So if somebody clicks on my shop and sees that I have a home from Google, then they can go and see that, and they can find me other ways. I have my Instagram, my portfolio, a little blurb about me and all that stuff. So I just think that having a website is much more professional and nicer. And also I have my own domain, so it's not a big long Wix site /Wix site like 3 million times and then my website. So I think it was a good decision to do that, and I'm really happy with that decision. And yeah, I do encourage people to really think about saving up money and investing their money in a website rather than Etsy, because it doesn't help you at all. It might have helped people back in the day when they first started, because all they were worried about were the creators, because without the creators, Etsy's nothing, right? It's the same as YouTube. They're just relying on people to grow their business. And as soon as their business was established and their name was known, because even my mum, even my dad, even other people know about Etsy, even if they're not creators and they don't know it, they've heard about it before. So I think they were just, they just realised that they had a good thing going and they got greedy, basically. And I don't think that people should be giving them money, because they don't care. And I'm getting hated now, and maybe I should have made a whole video about this, but yeah, that's my information, or my 2 cents on that. So the next one is, what motivates you to work or try new things or improve? And I might dedicate a video to this in future, but right now I'm trying to make easy videos, which I hate, but I want to dedicate more time to making this video better. But basically, having a clean space really motivates me to work. If my whole house is clean, then I just want to make art. I don't know, it inspires me so much. Also, the sun, I know that sounds ridiculous, because the sun is very unpredictable, and especially if you live in Scotland, you might not see the sun for weeks, months on end. It's starting to come out now, and it's making me feel really creative and really inspired. But yeah, just lighting, natural lighting, or even artificial lighting. If my big light is on in the living room, I feel like I want to create, because obviously creating in the dark is rubbish. So yeah, lighting is a good thing that I like, that inspires me. And for improvement, basically seeing other artists improve their work really inspires me, because if they can improve, then I can improve. And also just drawing and seeing my progression from the beginning. So keeping a sketchbook and then looking back at that sketchbook months later down the line and say, oh, I have improved without even trying here. And then it just kind of catalysts, what is it? It just kind of forces me, or no, inspires me to improve more. And then obviously following people that are actively improving on their work really inspires me. And the same goes for trying new things. If I see somebody try something that I've never tried, or if I see somebody using something that I've never tried and they get good results, it inspires me to try, or motivates me, sorry, I should be saying motivates, because that was a question, motivates me to try new things. And I just love art, basically, so I just love to, it motivates me because I love it. And yeah, there's a lot more things that I could say about this, but I'm trying to not make this video too long. So we're going to move on to the next one, which she asked about techniques, ideas that changed the way I work or the way I view my work. And I don't really have an answer for this yet, so I might come back to that at a later date or make another video about that at some point. She also asked me what my favourite paper, watercolours and brushes are, and I do have plenty of videos on my favourite art supplies and reviews about things that I really love. So again, I'll leave links in the description below and stuff for you to go and check that out if you want a big list of things that I use and love and certain categories and stuff like that. But her particular question was favourite paper, watercolours, brushes, etc. And I'll just answer those three very quickly. My favourite paper is Winsor & Newton watercolour paper, and I did do a review for that, so again, links in the description. And it's the professional brand, but it's really cheap and I can get it really easily from Hobbycraft, and they're always doing half price sales on it. So I love that paper. It's not 100% cotton, but it is my favourite paper just because of accessibility and because it performs like cotton, like 100% cotton. It's weird. I think you have to stretch it first though, if you wet it and then leave it to dry and then go in and use it. I think that's much better, but other than that, it's a very good paper. Again, I'm going to mention Winsor & Newton for my watercolours as well. Watercolours, my favourite watercolour brand is Winsor & Newton, the professional line, and I prefer these again because of accessibility. I can go into a shop and there is loads of choice with those colours and that brand, so basically just because of accessibility. I really like the Prima Confections, or Confections are they called? Watercolours as well. These are really good for beginners and people that are not too bothered about light fastness and stuff and just want to play in their sketchbook. Those are really fun to use because they're set palettes, set colour palettes, and I really like those. And then another watercolour brand that I like that are actually cheaper than Winsor & Newton, and I kind of like them a little bit more because of the vibrancy, are Mary Berry Blue. I don't know if I'm saying that right or whatever, but I'll put the name of it in the screen, but they're really good. But I definitely want to try Daniel Smith because they're supposed to be amazing and the properties of those make them really lovely to use, and I think that I would be excited to try them. And then really quickly, my favourite brush is the Silver Black Velvet brushes. Those are amazing. I only have one and it's a size 6 and it's quite small for a size 6. I would say it's more like a 4, but those are really good, really good brushes. They hold the perfect amount of water and paint, so I would definitely recommend getting those. At least I didn't say Winsor & Newton for that because I actually don't like the Winsor & Newton brushes because they don't hold a really good point. So I realised that I have got a lot more questions to answer than I wanted, but the question of how to encourage a creative family member or child, I have personal experience with encouraging a creative family member, more so a child. So my advice would be to take the time to do art with them. Don't just give them a bit of paper and just say, here you go, because they will get bored. Make sure that they are looking at reference photos and copying things, and they are using supplies that are not going to discourage them. The supplies can be cheap, but they don't have to be bad. Crayola will do. So yeah, I definitely advise to do that, but do not instruct them. For a younger child, don't instruct them too much. Don't tell them that they're doing it wrong or that they need to do this better or whatever. Maybe guide them, but don't discourage them by telling them that they're doing everything wrong, because as a child they see something in a simple shape and they draw it, and sometimes their motor skills aren't really up to scratch, so their lines are a bit wonky, and you know they could do better, but just let them express themselves and figure it out and see what they like, and just encourage them. Don't try to nitpick at their bigger flaws. Whereas with an older child, you can give them resources to read, watch videos, learn, just basically give them the skills, basically just give them the things that they need to learn on their own, and just tell them that they're doing a good job, and obviously critique their work, but it's got to be constructive criticism. It can't be bad. And I would say to tell them multiple positive things about their work and only give them one negative thing to work on at a time, one or two. Just say, oh, this needs, you need more contrast, or you need to work on your eye shape better if they're doing portraits or whatever. And then they can go away and work on those things, and once they've improved those things, that means that you can give them more positive things to say about their work. Oh, you really did listen to me, you really did improve those eyes or that contrast, well done. Now though, you could work on maybe looking at the nose a little bit better or whatever. So yeah, constructive criticism, giving the resources that they need, and encouraging them by telling them things that are positive about their work, and giving them, maybe buy them some presents of art supplies that are a little bit more expensive, a little bit more higher quality, so that they can experience that. Because as a child, or as a younger adult, teenager, if you're using something that's not working for you because of the quality, then you're gonna not like it. I didn't like watercolour when I was a teenager because I was painting on printer paper. So yeah, I went back to a later date when I found out that watercolour paper was a thing, and I loved it. So make sure that they have the right materials and the right resources to learn. Anything that I don't answer on this that you asked, I will be making another video of it, especially what got me into art, because I'm going to talk about my artistic journey at some point. So that'll be that. And then the last thing is to give advice to beginners of a particular medium or style. And if you've been following me for a while, I have used plenty of mediums, plenty of different styles, plenty of different things, and my number one advice, I wouldn't even give any other advice really. I mean, there probably is more and I could make a video about this, but my main one thing to take away from this question would be to go into it as if you are new at art in general, like you've never picked up a pencil before, you've never picked up a paintbrush, you've never picked up anything. You don't know about colour theory, you don't know about techniques, you don't know about anything. Just try and clear your mind of a blank slate, because using a different medium compared to another medium is hard. Drawing in a different style compared to a different style is hard. You will feel like you're drawing like a 5-year-old, and that's fine. You've never done art before. Remember that. You have never done art before. Even if you are very skilled, very highly skilled in a different medium and a different style, you need to think like you are a dummy in art, because that's the only way that you'll get better. If you keep discouraging yourself by saying, oh, but I'm really good at this, I'm really good at using this medium, I'm really good at drawing in this style, then you'll just get discouraged and you'll want to go back to the other style or the other medium that you were using. So yeah, that's my advice. I hope that that video was okay and that you liked it. It was a little bit longer than I would have liked, but I hope that it was packed full of information for you to, I don't know, feel like you got answers from me. And if you have any more questions, leave them in the comments below, like I said. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.